I want also to announce that I've started to have today's special. Today's special is going to be different day to day. We started with the high value class and the ebook, and I still leave the ebook on today's special. So if any of you find $67 too expensive for you, just for the ebook and the bonuses and the secret group support, check my today's special on my website, and you can get it for only $47, $20 off, ladies. And mind you, with just $47, I've helped tons of women getting engaged, getting married, getting the relationship they want, get their exes back, save their marriages, and have babies. So it's so worth it. No one else offers the kind of results and services with $47 the way Karina does. All right. And today, still ongoing, and I probably will remove it tomorrow, is a class on how to manage your emotional investment when he's been stepping up but hasn't claimed you. That class is one of my hit classes, is right now also $20 off. So check on my today's special. It's $87 after $20 off. And this class is the core principle of why what I teach works like magic. It's the principle of emotional management. If you don't understand emotional management, you're going to push any guy away. So please get that class and understand why you've been stalling your relationship with your EOM, okay? All right, now time for the Q&A. This is from Luisa. I'm dating a real good man right now, thanks to you, Kat. You are such a wizard. Your ways are so different from other coaches out there that my guy has repeated several times to me, why are you such a rare woman? You are a unicorn. You're so different. And I'm so lucky. I knew it was Kat when he said that. Yes, Luisa. Congratulations. You are indeed a unicorn. Women like you, women like us, for the most part, do not exist. That's why these guys go gaga over us. This is why a lot of you got engagement rings before too long, right? This is why my success rate is very high. It's the highest in the business because of that. Thank you for acknowledging that, Luisa. I hope your relationship will go, a long haul with this one. Okay. All right. So let me see other questions. Do you have? I'm trying to find more questions here. Hold on a second. And should you observe and adjust to his lack? How long do I keep the observing going? Do we not tell him our real feelings at the moment? If we don't tell them how we really feel, does that mean not sharing emotions with him, not connecting what I truly feel? Dwayne, depends where you are in your relationship with him. If it's just early phase in which, no agreement on exclusivity that is being backed up by actions on his side has happened yet, then what's the point of telling him how you feel? He's not your boyfriend. This is something that is so lost in so many of you, that as if expressing your feeling is so important and will make a difference. It doesn't, trust me. Okay, expressing your feelings, especially upset feelings, is just going to make him perceive you as a problematic, difficult woman. If he hasn't claimed you as a girlfriend, meaning he's still dating other women, of course he's not going to be full-time for you. Then what are you gonna do? Your job is to adjust where he is. He is not fully in, so you're not fully in, meaning you have to date other people, please, okay? So if after a few months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, there is no talk involved, accept it. He is not there yet, it's up to you. You wanna take it or you wanna leave it. If you're turned off, then probably you will just disappear or just fade on him because you feel that, you know, he's not putting enough effort. But I hope by then you would already have been busy with somebody else, or have, you know, a few that you love in your rotation. So you have somebody that will occupy your free time. Okay, if you don't date anyone else and just sitting around expecting him to ask you out every weekend or a few times a week, to call you every day, of course nothing's gonna happen. Okay, he doesn't owe you anything. Please keep that in mind. He doesn't owe you anything. Okay, it's a two people's agreement to be in a relationship. You cannot twist someone to be in a relationship with you. It's not gonna work that way. So instead of expressing how you feel, you just go out and date and find a guy who is on the same page as you. As simple as that. Stop trying to discuss everything. When you're in a relationship, that is a totally different situation. When you're in a relationship, absolutely, you're bound to have to talk about these things. But if you're not in a relationship with a guy, you're just casually dating, it is obvious that he's dating others and you're dating others. Just keep your mouth shut. Okay. This is also your question. So it's related to that. I will read it. This is from Dwayne, and it's a very good question. Hello, Kat. I found you through my research with another coach. At first, I was really hooked with her teaching about expressing feelings. But when you explain that feeling statements with expectation of men that they will change their actions by saying our feelings, you teach that it is us, the women, who needs to heal first the inner self, not correct the man. Also, feeling statements of always stating negative feelings, like feeling upset in order for a man to change for us, is not the great way for a relationship. And this is your teachings, right? I'm really liking your programs. I have adapted a lot of her teaching in the past before I discover you. And now I'm having a difficult time shifting into your programs because I'm used to her feelings. Oh, I'm confused because I really want your program. I have a lot of questions. Could you help me out adjusting to your program, please? Enlighten me on which of her teaching is I should disregard. Should I completely disregard feeling statements? One of my questions is, if feeling statements are not the right way, does it mean we should never tell our feelings? Does it mean we should only tell positive feelings, not negative feelings? Enlighten me, please. This is a very good question. Okay, so if you have read my post or my article about feeling messages, basically I don't particularly think it's a bad thing to express your feeling, but when you do it for an agenda, with an expectation, which most of you do when you express your feelings, unfortunately, so you do it, and you do it coming from a place of lack instead of wholesomeness and fullness, then yeah, you're going to push any guy away because it is very annoying. But believe it or not, I sometimes use feeling messages or feeling statements with Joey too. But obviously, I do that not to expect a certain kind of response from him. I do that not to punish him either, telling him how I feel, how hurt I am feeling, how he hurts me, or how he makes me feel hurt. Okay? It's not the purpose. When I share my feelings, or when I express my feelings with feeling messages or without feeling messages, but just, just to let my feelings be known, the purpose is to share, to just share without any agenda and expectation. That is the purpose of the teaching of feeling messages, that you express your feelings, not because you want to change him, which all of you who come to me do. You express your feelings because you want to manhandle him, you want to fix him, you want to change him. But you share your feelings because the context of the conversations warrant you to express them. Do you understand? So if out of the blue, a guy who doesn't ask you how your feelings are, or what are you thinking, or what are you feeling, and you just blurt all these feeling messages out of your mouth, expressing how upset you are, how disappointed you are, how do you think other people, or unsolicitedly being told how upset you are feeling, even though it's formed in the I statement, still the connotation will make the other people, especially if it's spoken from a place of expectations filled situation, or expectations filled stance, then your energy will be heavy, right? Your energy will be kind of accusing, negative. How do you think other people would respond to that? Think about it before expressing your feelings. Not going to be very welcoming. And that is human nature. Even though, you kind of imply it's not your fault that I feel this way, but the fact that you have to say that at all, it means that you somehow, connect how you feel with what I'm not doing or with what I'm doing, correct? So on the other hand, if you have a conversation with your guy or your EUM, and then the subjects of feelings come up, or you want to explain the time when something happened, and the resulting feeling that followed that episode was whatever feeling that you had, that is a totally different matter, because your intention wasn't to fix. Your intention is just to share, to say it as it is. Do you understand the difference? So the first one, the way you express your feeling, is very loaded, because it's loaded with a lot of demands and expectations and a lot of agenda that the other person will change to appease you or to please you. While the latter, the second example, in which the feeling statements just come up according to the context of the conversation, your intention is clear. You just, in a conversational mode, you're not trying to change him. You're just sharing what happened. You see the difference, Dwayne? Okay, so it's not that I am anti-feeling messages. The problem is, most of you, 99% of you who employ feeling messages, you haven't done your inner work yet. You use feeling messages as a strategy to make a guy do things for you. That is why, and that's why it doesn't work. But if you do the inner work first, so you are in charge of your thoughts and you are in charge of your emotions, then whatever comes out of your mouth doesn't really matter. I never have to lie or pretend, that I'm always happy all the time. No, it's not about that. When I'm upset, about something, Joey will know I'm upset. I'm upset because I don't hide these things. I don't have to pretend. He either knows through my facial expression, or I will just bluntly say it, why I am upset to him. But then again, I don't expect him to have a certain response for me. It's not why I share. He might hit what I say, he might not. Either way is fine with me. Because, whatever happens, it's going to happen for the best. Let's say, I'll give you an example. If your guy, say, always forgets your birthday, right? I know I say no expectations, but at the same time, you know, you've been in a relationship for 3 years. How come he never remembers your birthday? Then yeah, you know, in a conversation one day, one night, and I would just blurt it out, you know, it just sometimes feels very disappointing, or I feel disappointed that you forget my birthday, even though I'm not a big birthday girl. But it would be nice that if my boyfriend remembers my birthday. So you say it and you let it go, meaning you're not so invested in what his response is going to be one way or another. You see the difference? When you just let go after you express your feelings, your energy just as light as it gets. But when you're upset and you're stating your feelings that you're upset, which still can be right, by the way, it still can be right. You're upset and you expect him to change or to do something, to say something, to appease you or to make you happy. Then if when your expectations aren't met, you become more upset, you become angrier. That is when you are applying feeling messages in a very dysfunctional way, in a wrong way. Do you understand? So back to an example, I'm upset with Joey because certain things. I'm just saying it as it is. I can be upset, no problem. You know, you don't have to pretend to be happy all the time. Nobody is happy all the time. Even I'm not happy all the time, even though I am 99% happy. But some days I'll be very annoyed. I'll be very, say, hurt, maybe not hurt, but more like irritated. To me, I no longer feel hurt by anything. Irritation's still going, still ongoing. So I feel irritated, you know, but by what Joy says or does or doesn't say or doesn't do. Then yeah, I will express it. Yeah, and it will shows that I'm irritated. But still, at the same time, I don't expect him, you know, to be responding a certain way. Then I will just let the irritation go. You know, I'll move on to something else. You see, it is okay to be honest about your feelings. What is not okay is when you expect other people to comfort you, to please you, to make you less upset through what they do and what they say after you expressing your feelings. Do you understand? Because then you will be more upset when that is not met. On the other hand, if after expressing that birthday is important to you, say, and he still keeps forgetting your birthday, you can make a decision based on that piece of information. Do I want to continue be in a relationship with someone who doesn't do birthdays, who never remembers my birthdays, or not? And of course, upon asking that questions, you would look into the overall health, the overall health of your relationship, what he does to the relationship, what he contributes. He can be all bad. Just because he doesn't remember your birthday doesn't mean he doesn't do other things in a relationship, right? And then what are you gonna do? Then you will start weighing the pros and cons of walking away or being in a relationship, right? So you just let the chips fall where they may. You see, that is the kind of an enlightened mindset going into a relationship. Always take it or leave it. You don't have to leave it now if you're not ready, but certainly you are observing. You are taking notes that you are very disappointed every year because he never remembers your birthday. Sooner or later, it will become clear if the relationship really is really working or not. If it's not working, then this little thing will start growing into other things, will start leaking into the other areas of your relationship. And if you're not aware, you might just cause that relationship to deteriorate. So be aware of it. But if you're an aware person, you realize that no man is perfect in this world, right? No matter who that is. You're not perfect yourself. So I'm with a guy who doesn't remember my birthday, no matter what I say and but he's so wonderful otherwise. So through that observation, you realize the big picture. The big picture is, I feel safe in this relationship. Yes, he's not perfect. It's not a perfect relationship. I'm missing my birthday being remembered and being celebrated. But otherwise, other than one day out of the year, he is a pretty decent or a wonderful man to be in a relationship with. So then emotionally, you will just adjust to it. Do you understand? Someone who is emotionally intelligent will just realize this is not a big deal after all. I can do things that are important to me for myself on my birthday while still have this functional relationship intact with the man who cherishes me otherwise. Then you start letting go of that requirement that he has to remember your birthday. And surprise, surprise, sooner or later, when you stop needing it, when you stop requiring it, when you stop demanding it, he will start giving it to you all by himself without you having to say the word. Have you ever had that experience with anyone before? With your kids, with your parents, with your with your boyfriends, husbands? Okay, so then you realize, in a grand scheme of things, in the big picture, it doesn't really matter that he doesn't remember my birthdays, because I feel pretty happy in this relationship 80% of the time. Why would I give up this 80% of functionality of a relationship for 20% that it's not working? Think about it. Okay? So that is what I mean by salvation through relationship. I have this excellent program called Salvation Through Relationship, which is part of the Feminine Magnetism program. And that is module 5. So those of you who are in a rocky relationship will be very strongly recommended to participate or to sign up on module 5, Salvation Through Relationship. So you really explore the side of you that makes every little thing that you consider as need such a big deal. When you just seeing it in a clear way, with such clarity, you realize it is not a big deal at all. And you adjust to it. That is what growth is all about, ladies. That is what being expanded really means. So you adjust to what is, whatever that is. That is the highest teaching that a relationship coach could ever give anyone. That's why it works. All right? It works. Okay, let's see. Let's move to another question. I hope that answers your questions, Dwayne. This is from Mary. Well, despite advice to the contrary, I moved back in with my ex. I followed my intuition. I know this is best for me right now. The situation is not defined though, which is fine. How can I lean back and start a rotation while living with him? I know hobbies are a given. My question is, well, I'm sure you have your own reason to move back living with your ex while not getting back exclusive with him yet. Whatever reason that is, I won't judge you for that, but it's gonna be hard if you want to start a rotation with a guy you're living. I mean, with a guy living with you. So yeah, it's gonna be harder. Not to mention that I don't know, man. It's just a little bit weird. So don't, Mary, either you do it very discreetly, I guess, right? But then sooner or later he'll find out, and then do it discreetly. Or again, find your own place. I don't know, any other advice I can give you. Okay, I'll answer one last question because this is kind of late. This is from Shanika. Is there such thing as being too detached? All that I'm hearing from the guys in my rotation is, why don't you call to even say hi? If I don't call you, I may never hear from you again, they say. LOL. Honestly, there are times when I'd like to just say good morning and all that, but I may have become too good at leaning back. What say you, Miss Cat? Nah, you know what? You know what I would say. You know, guys who need you to say hi, to call them, to text them, to lead the whole thing. Maybe because they don't want to do the work, and they don't want to do the work because they're not that into you. It's bottom line. Because guys will go for what they want or they like. And of course they like to be chased by women because that is good for their ego. It's good for about 5 minutes before they get sick of it. And it's good for booty calls too, when women, calling them up. So if you are okay with that, I mean, by all means, you can initiate, but I won't. And if they ask, why don't you call? And you return, the question to them saying, why don't you? Like, hello, guys have gone to wars countless of times and killed millions of people. You can pick up the phone and call me. Seriously, that is a nonsense. It's almost like gaslighting, because they're not interested in you, they don't call you, and they kind of blame it on you why they don't call, because you don't call. That is nonsense. As long as you're responsive, as long as you always respond when they initiate, they don't mind it at all. Mind you, when I was still the dude in a relationship, I did all the calling, I did all the asking out, and it never tired me. No. So, and I was still in a female body, but my my inside was pretty much like a dude, because I wanted to lead, I want to pursue, I want to control. So a woman could do that, then a man can do it 100 times more. So do not fall for it, okay? Do not fall for it. Okay, ladies, this is late here. Thank you so much for being here. Please check all the links that I posted on the original post, and then please come to one of our events. I would love to meet you. Okay, ladies, and check also my today's special, and do not miss the $47 for the ebook plus bonuses and fabulous support in the secret group. Just being in the secret group or in one of my groups in general, it's already a highway toward personal transformation you cannot find anywhere else online. That is my conviction. Thank you so much for being here, ladies. Have a great evening. Good night, everyone.